Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are finally gonna do MILF Manor. Again, you're gonna get probably both HEA and MILF Manor the day after the episodes come out. Because usually weekends are for editing. During the week, weekends are for not editing. Anyway, so let's just hop right into the reason that we are here. So, MILF Manor Season 2, Episode 4. MILF's just not that into you. So, we're still right back with the argument between Jamie and everybody else. Man, I would appreciate you just saying, like, we just met, but what's going on? And I would say, hey, Kelly, yeah, I do have a boyfriend. Well, then you gotta leave the villa, Kelly says, and so do I. Like, you know what I mean? And Kelly's like, I'm single, and she then goes after Anthony, like it's Anthony's fault, like Anthony knew she had a boyfriend and was like, you left the card game to go talk to her, like, and she has a boyfriend. And he's like, well, I was just being a gentleman. I was like, well, not to me. And Jamie goes into the house to basically tell all the men, like, yep, she's gonna leave. Yes, I have a boyfriend and all this. But Anthony is kind of defending her, and Kelly's getting frustrated that he's defending her. And she's like, no, you just gotta leave. Bye. And she's like, why are you defending her? But Darren says, like, listen, I'm getting a little upset knowing someone lost out too because of her lying about the fact that she was in a relationship. But she says, like, she started this process when she was single, but then she met her boyfriend and they fell in love. And we see her actually, while being at the fucking villa, sending a video to her boyfriend named Mark. And it's clear as day she was already at this villa when she sent this. So, listen, I get if maybe you started this process and maybe whatever, but it still feels sketchy that you chose to still come here despite having a boyfriend. It just feels like you were here for other reasons. Clout chasing, maybe? I don't know. But she says she's leaving, and she is also happy to be seeing her boyfriend. So there you go. Bye, Jamie. It was really nice knowing you. But now it's the next day, and Kelly Mack has found her first love in the house, and that is the blender. Joey and Anthony are talking, and Anthony says he kind of likes Kelly, but after last night with kind of how she handled herself, he's a little bit unsure about pursuing her, and that I definitely understand. I mean, yes, Kelly is passionate about what was going on, and I think also felt a little bit hurt by Anthony dipping with her and going with Jamie, but he didn't know, give him the benefit of the doubt. He did not know. No one knew. And yeah, so he's a little turned off now, I think, by that. And he seems to be a little bit into Lynette. And Joey, of course, likes Christina, but Joey has not dated anyone Christina's age, or maybe anyone older in general. So him kind of being this, I want to date older women and, from like whatever age, just 65 or the fuck the range he gave, he's never actually dated anyone older before. So, like, I don't really, it's weird. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, Stacy, this is kind of heartfelt, pulls Miles aside to talk to him. And he just get emotional talking about, the relationship with Miles. And Stacy just kind of hopes that they can grow from all of this. And the thing that kind of got me was that, like, Miles You can see on his face, like, this is exactly what he wanted and maybe needed. And, you know, yeah. So they seem to be kind of figuring it out. I do hope that they continue with that because I don't want like this to happen over television just, for the ratings or whatever. And it then just go nowhere in the real world. But they haven't actually even had a face to face conversation with each other before her coming here in 5 years. That is a really um, long time. So Stacey basically tells him, like, tell me anything that you need to say. And Miles says that, it's been zero communication. He says, I should have done better um, as a father, but it's all I knew because that is how my father did things too. So you just kind of see that generational trauma just kind of going through. And Miles says, I think you did the best that you could. And Stacy says, that's not a cop. It's a cop out. It's not an excuse. And probably he said that because it's like, no, I should be trying to do better because obviously he has to have some semblance of an idea of what Miles is feeling, um, based on what he said about his own father. And he's like, I could have done better. And he tells him that he loves him. And Miles says he loves him too. And Miles starts crying and it broke my heart. And you can just tell he definitely needed this. And like I said, I just hope that they continue this on, past this. So let's get to the fun stuff again. So we got a text. It's time for the next challenge. And it could maybe get a little messy. So with that being said, everybody put on your bathing suits. And we head to the backyard. And in the backyard, we see the MILF mud pit. So basically, everyone is going to have to fight to protect their secrets. Basically, what's going to be happening is they're going to be so the women are going to be kind of doing like a tug of war mud pit thing, having to get like these flags, and whoever wins, their secret's protected. Whoever loses has to reveal their secret. Same goes for the men, except it's going to be fathers and sons being pit against each other. So that is what they're going to be doing. So obviously Darren will not be participating in the actual physical aspect of things, but he will be picking someone to do it for him. So we'll get to that in a bit. So first up, we got Lynette and Crystal. And Lynette wins because she says she wanted to win because their secret was dirty. Okay. But Crystal's secret, it's not much better. She says that she told her boyfriend that her friend was mugged so she could take his car to go meet up with another guy. Barbie is like, so wait, being a stripper, that's a no-no. Taking your man's vehicle to go see another man, that's okay though. Okay, just want to be sure. Stacy's like, hey, no, hell on earth are you going to be taking my car to go see another man? You can take the bus. So there's that. Next, we got Kelly and Christina. And Christina wins. So Kelly's secret is that she had sex in the branches of a tree like a monkey. How do you do that and still stay on the tree? So they were like bent over the branches. Like that cannot be true. Anyways, who knows? Next is Darren and Sam. But of course, Darren can't do it, so he's picking Stacy to go for him in his place. The winner was obviously Sam. Stacy had a little bit of a thing where he's like, I'm not gonna win for him. I'm gonna do the very least. So Darren's secret, he says that he once had fantasies about a young nun in his Catholic school. My God, my guy, like, God's not happy with that. And Sam actually knows who the nun is because he actually says her name. He's like, sister, whatever. And he's like, yeah. Next, we got Barbie and Kelly Mack. The winner's clearly Barbie. Kelly Mack didn't stand a chance. She's so tiny. But Kelly Mack's secret is, I'm a member of the Mile High Club. It was a private jet, though. She's classy. Darren says, I got some private jets, you know? Next, we have Stacy and Miles. And I'm like, listen, boy, you better let your son win this. He did win. Miles won. But he's like, I was giving it all I got. I'm like, no, you let him win. You let him win. That's the... But Stacy's secret is he won a bet about how many women he could fuck in one day, and he fucked 5. Yep. I have nothing to say. Let's move on. Next we got Ashley and Jacob. The winner clearly is Ashley. There's no way that Jacob was winning. And Jacob's secret is, I always get nosebleeds during sex. What the fuck? And Barbie's like, I don't mind that he would have nosebleeds as long as he's not bleeding on me. Does he need to get that checked? Because that seems like that should not be happening during sex. It's kind of like, if everyone remembers the movie, Friends with Benefits with Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis, when he's like, I sneeze every time I come. It's kind of like, it's just weird. It's so weird. Anyways, so Barbie, I thought that already. Never mind. Moving on. Next, we got Michael and Chris. Winner is Chris. Come on, Chris is the MMA fighter. Michael's secret is such a cute secret, though. He's like, when I was single, and, I actually once took my kids on a date with me because I couldn't secure a nanny for them. So sweet. So sweet. Anthony and Joey are next, and Anthony's like, listen, I got a daughter. I need to win this. She can't know my secret. So the winner is Anthony. Okay. Joey's secret is, I've had sex with 35 people. Y'all, let me break this down to you. He's 21 years old and he has had sex with 35 people. Anthony's like, that's more than me, and I'm older than you. He's like, that's a lot of people in the age you're at. Listen, at 21, I'm about to reveal my body count. I don't really care. Now at 33, my body count is probably just under 40. So at 21, I was nowhere near 35. I had fun. I had a whole phase. We all do. But it's like, I still think my number at 21 was probably still under 20. How in the hell are you doing 35 people? When did he lose his virginity? If he average lost his virginity at 15, 16, how are you doing 35 at 21? And he still got ways to go. Jesus Christ, that's sick. So the winner of the challenge, the winners of the challenge, is Christina and Anthony. So Anthony is going to be taking Lynette on his date, and Kelly thought for sure it was going to, for surely it was going to be her. For surely, Kelly, Shirley's a name, but for surely is not it. It's just for sure. Anyways, but no, he stopped picking her because he's turned off from the night before. But Christina is taking Sam, so not Joey. And Joey's like, listen, when I'm dating somebody, I kind of only want to focus on one person and kind of want them to do the same. So the fact that now she's going to be going on a date with Sam, she's completely burned her bridge with him. This is why I said You should have just talked to him. You're the adult in the equation. You should be the adult in the equation. Just sit down and fucking have a conversation with him. Instead, you don't do that. She's, I like Christina, but she pissed me off with all of this. But anyways, um, so Anthony and Lynette are going to be sticking to home because they're going to make some pizzas. After all, he is a man who owns a restaurant, and they're going to be making pizzas. So the guys think that, Lynette is a queen. So he's definitely going to look out being with her if this works out. And Joey is happy that Anthony picked Lynette for the date. Maybe he's happy that he picked Lynette because now he's trying to try something with Kelly, but who knows? Yeah, so Anthony at this point, when they're gonna start making the pizzas, is like, tie me up, Lynette, tie me up. And the apron, tie me up with the apron around my body, And Christina and Sam are on their date, and he says, like, I'm surprised that you picked me. So are we. She's like, really? Why? Well, because you've been a thing with Joey this entire time. That's why. And he says, I'm sorry. They talk about what they will want in a relationship. You know, they're want to have fun or some shit. And they're gonna go stargazing and some, boring everyday type thing. Type date with them. And he says like he likes older women because they don't need, constant validation. And I'm like, but there are younger women who don't need constant validation either. Like, I've never been one who needs constant validation. I've maybe just always kind of known at some point you just kind of have to validate yourself at some time. Like, it's nice to have validation from your partner too, but like, we're all not like Sophie, who needs maybe constant validation. Not to say, again, don't want to go into that conversation, but not to say that Rob is not an asshole, because he is, but it's, we don't need constant validation. All of us, anyways. Anyway, Christina asks, like, do people tell you you are a good kisser? And he's like, I think so. Silence. Nothing. Really? But he's like, do you want to try? This is so weird and just didn't feel organic or anything. But anyway, then they do. But Christina says, like, I don't chase, I attract. So if you are, into them, I guess you just kind of make it known. But anyways, back to Anthony and Lynette. They are making the pizzas, and in walks Joey and Kelly to go to the hot tub. That's not awkward. So they are now in the hot tub, and Kelly is a little unsure if he's just doing this to try and make Christina jealous or whatever. And Kelly does say, like, she likes you, or she liked you, but just didn't know what happened. And I'm like, because no one fucking talks to each other. Joey didn't even pick it up either at that point, because he's like, oh, she does. So, no one's picking it up. It's just weird, annoying. He just says, we, made out. I bit her butt. That's it. That's not it, though. Clearly, that's not it. Anyway, but he asks if we, like, made out or something. Would you still pursue my dad? She's like, no, that's weird. Joey's very happy about this. And he then kisses Kelly and feels conflicted, or she feels conflicted kissing Joey because, well, it's also her son's name. And he kind of looks like Joey. And I said, you did not need to say that. You did not need to fucking say that, because now this is feels gross. But back to Anthony and Lynette. Lynette is is a people pleaser, and she tends to maybe put herself, or doesn't put herself first. And with this, she's kind of doing that now, and just, but then Anthony asked Lynette, hey, do you want to go to Rofi? Not necessarily to have sex, we're just gonna sleep together. Like, actually sleep. And she agrees. She says yes. And she feels safe with him. I kind of like, I kind of like Lynette and Anthony to be a thing. I get it with them a little bit, but then we see Barbie and Chris are talking, and he asks, like, so, who's kind of piquing your interest right now? And she says, well, obviously Jacob, is around there, and, she's interested in talking to him, but she's also interested in talking to Chris too. And while she's talking to Chris, here comes Jacob out of, I guess, go talk to her, and he sees them talking to each other, and he goes right back inside and doesn't even say a thing to anybody. He's obviously thrown off and maybe a little upset to see them talking to each other. And he goes to his room, and Ashley's there, and he's like, I can see something's wrong with Jacob. And Jacob is just feeling anxious about everything. Um, and he's not feeling happy, he says, and actually maybe wants to leave. So I guess we'll see what happens in the episode. Well, because we do know what happens in the episode by the time you get this. But yeah, it's I feel for him, but this is not the place to only be stuck with one person in particular. We're only 4 episodes in. This isn't the time, you're still going to explore. So I don't disagree with her exploring her options. Like, that's what you do. He should do the same, but anyway, that is it for MILF Manor. Again, we're kind of getting back on track a little bit here, a little kind of. So, yeah, probably what I'm going to do is combine the 2 episodes for Seeking Sister Wife, because we're going into the finale now. So I'll probably just combine the 2 episodes together, that I've missed, and that will be the end of that. Just in time to replace it with UK. Jesus. But anyways, that is it for MILF Manor for this week. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including, you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information It is overwhelming. We do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.